Let's go.
The pregame show. We are the DNVR Pregame Show. Need to say it right, man.
Say it right,
logo.
man. Come on.
Presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. My guy RK, my guy Uncle Neely. How we doing, boys?
Doing good, man. You are my buddy that I love having a beer with over burrito.
Yes, sir.
So we are Illegal Pete.
Let's go. Yep. Let's go. Let me just make sure here. Checking around. All right, no one here wearing red. Good job, guys.
No, none.
We got the message.
Good job.
Loud and clear.
Good
Loud
job.
and clear.
Man. Nebraska week. It's Thursday right now. You guys are watching this. It's Friday. We're 1 day away from the game, man. What has the vibe been in the facility this week?
I have been just blown away at the vibe in the building, and let me tell you why. We talk about how Coach Prime flipped this roster. Mm-hmm. There's 85%. When you count in staff, there's like 95% new people in this building. Yours truly. But everybody gets it. Everybody's been made to get it. Everybody's been encouraged to get it. There's signs around the building, literally, figuratively, that you get it.
Yeah.
We know we hate Nebraska. You don't have to be here long to buy in on it. So I've been enthused at the players at practice this week, breaking it down on, some colorful word, Nebraska, all three. So it's there, man. It's there. It's Nebraska week. These guys understand it. They've seen the media presence, the media frenzy around. College Game Day was here, although it's not their game. They were doing a segment for their show. Big Noon Kickoff is, of course, here. They did interviews with players for their show. The guys are excited, man, and they want to win this game, and they want to be dominant.
We're serious about you, so.
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry.
Well, I was so confused.
That was my pinky just holding on a picture there.
I'm not.
Could have been a worse video.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I'm not even going to say it. Thank you, RK.
You talk about leaning into it and understanding this rivalry and, embracing it. Mm-hmm. But who's been around to educate these guys when it comes to the history of this rivalry?
Player-wise, Trevor and Tank. I've talked to them separately, and I've seen them in the locker room, seen them in the huddles, telling people like, no, man, this is different. And then some of the coaches who have coached in this area, like a Coach OB. They get it, man, and they're able to convey this ain't just a regular game. You say that in the spring and the summer. No game on the schedule, don't look ahead, want to know week to week, but this one is important.
Yeah.
And it's Coach Prime's first home game.
Yes. Unbelievable, man. It's going to be
it's
insane.
Like doubly important. Like for all those reasons that's important, now you put some more wood on the fire.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think – well, first of all, let me just say this. I really hope that someone explains to them the Sal is dead, go Big Red story. Because to me, that's what makes this rivalry true hatred. When we had Matt McChesney on last week, even when we had Scotty McKnight this morning, it's a respect thing, right? They always say, like, hey, you hate him, but you respect him. When they did that and a young man died, tragically, of cancer, and you make a joke out of it or make a mockery of it or use it as a rallying cry, that crosses the line. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I don't care that it was like a small group of people that did it, right? To this day, you have Nebraska fans echoing it on social media.
Yeah. So,
like, to me, that's, Jimmy was saying yesterday, I'm going to have to do a little research to get a little more hate in my heart. That's how you get the hate in your heart. Mm-hmm. That's why it's different for me. Colorado State next week, that's a rivalry. I want to beat them. I like beating up on them, calling them little brother, talking shit. But I don't have a reason like that to where it's personal.
Right.
Well, that's been the theme all week from Coach Prime, from the assistants to everyone. It's personal. Mm-hmm. That's been the mantra all week long, is it's personal. We went into the season with I believe and we coming. Well, you saw what happened in TCU. You don't have too many people out there, or none that matter, that don't believe. Mm-hmm. You don't have too many people out there, none that matter, that don't understand. We're not only coming, we're here. But now this week, it's personal.
Yep.
It's personal.
And I think, the coaches have had a chance to see how they can make it personal for themselves too. The coaching world runs deep, and everyone has whether it's a recruiting battle you lost or something like that. Like you just find a way to say, hey, F those guys.
Yep. Yeah. Well, even from the head coach perspective, and not from Coach Prime directly, but when you talk about other coaches and just the atmosphere, people talk about the times that Nebraska's coach, don't y'all love how I never say his name? Nebraska's coach was in Texas, but never reached out to Coach Prime. Hey, I'm in your state. How's it going? In the hood, we call it checking in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He never checked in. And now that they're, neighboring states playing, now it's buddy, kumbaya. Mm-hmm. And so the vibe has been no, man, same energy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't know me then. We're cool not to be cool now. Take the L.
He just saw what happened last week, and he realizes what he's in for this week. That's what happened.
Well, and, you saw, this is how this program operates, and it's just all part of it. Motivation should be there no matter what. You shouldn't need to hate Nebraska to be motivated for this game. You shouldn't need to have a backstory with a coach to want this game. But when they're there, embrace them. And, we heard the thing about Shador with Kendall Briles last week.
Yep.
And how he was, didn't feel like he was treated properly at a camp. File that away. When it's 9 p.m. and you're thinking, all right, maybe it's time to just turn on, YouTube. But you're like, no, you know what? Let me watch a little more film because he did that shit.
It's interesting you brought up that juxtaposition, because I can't not acknowledge that in these players. You take, for instance, a Shane Coates. He doesn't need the hatred to get up for this game. Mm-hmm. Shane Coates is trying to play on Sundays. Mm-hmm. Shane Coates is trying to dominate this conference. Shane Coates is trying to win this game. The hatred, as you said, is just rightly so. It's just another, all right, let me give it a little bit more. But 99% of these guys were dialed in and going to run through a brick wall for Deion Sanders no matter who we were playing.
Of course.
Now they're definitely going to run through a brick cinder block wall on fire because it's Nebraska.
Exactly.
I don't want even them to think, oh, they got up like that because it was us. No, this is what we do. Mm-hmm. You just happen to be next, and there's a little more fuel to it because of what you've done in the past.
Yep.
Right.
Amen. Fires me up, man.
Stay fired up, man. I love you fired up.
I'm fired up. I'm so fired
up. He's ready.
He is fired up.
Being in this building has me
Speaking of the building, we did not acknowledge that we are in the linebacker room.
Yep.
We are in Coach Hart's room. See the legends behind us, Alfred Williams. Coach Hart graciously opened up his room for us for this show. Shout out to Coach Hart. You saw him last week on the live show.
Star of the show.
What a great. And we're going to get into some linebacker talk and some challenges that he did with them. But it's fitting that this is where we are, man, in the linebacker room. Let's get it.
I finally got around to editing the quote from him last night down to a 2-minute, 20-second clip that I can post because I'm still fighting back on paying for verification on Twitter. But I finally got around to it, and I probably watched it 30 times. I edited it, which you watched it a bunch, and then I just kept playing it over and over and over again. Him talking about belief versus believer, and that's advice for everyone.
Absolutely.
And I said that to someone on Twitter. I said, one of my favorite parts about being around football coaches my whole life is if you listen, listen. Don't just think about this from a football perspective. Listen. You actually will learn life lessons from being around people like Coach Hart or obviously Coach Prime.
Right.
Man, when Coach Prime and I talk, 90% of the time it ain't about football. Mm-hmm. It's about football, but it's a life lesson in
a bigger picture.
Yeah, we're talking about a much bigger thing. And, the post that Coach Prime put on his Instagram the other day with the sit-down I did with Tank, nothing to do about football. Mm-hmm. Ask Tank, hey, man, how have you grown from this guy's presence? And it went in the spiritual direction. Nothing to do about football.
Yeah.
Because if you sit and listen to these guys, it's much bigger than football, man. They are life coaches.
And I don't know if a player would ever admit this the way that she did, but I was just talking to one of the producers on the Coach Prime documentary, and she said, every day we roll in here, it's so early. I'm so tired. And then Coach Prime starts speaking, and I'm just like, whew,
Yep.
I'm wide awake.
Oh, no,
And
they'll admit that. You can see it in the footage. like when he comes through the door, and it ain't perking up just because the commander-in-chief is in the room. You're excited to see what he's about to say today. What's the word for the day? And the word for the day always relates to yesterday's, and it's a setup for tomorrow's word. And then when you get to Saturday, these 5 words, like, oh, man, it was a sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling her, I'm like, it's like he's a lyricist. Like, everything he says is like setting up something else, and it all weaves together. It's like he could have, just as he could have been a baseball player, he's a great, one of the best football players of all time. He could have been a famous rapper, in my opinion.
Well, his breakdown today out on the field was cry to me before you lie to me, and then he walked off. So just to prove your point,
Yes.
like he can rhyme.
Yep. He's a poet. He's legitimately a poet.
He really is. He's amazing, man. Even today, they had the coaches show earlier today, him and Mark Johnson, and he talked about the TCU players, actually, and his interactions with them. Obviously, we saw Josh Newton after the game. Apparently, Josh Newton went up to Coach Prime during the game and was like, let me get some of those cleats, like some of those shoes, basically. I mean, he said that he wore number 2 because of Coach Prime.
Wow.
Trey Sanders, at one point, we talked about him a lot in this offseason as a guy linked to this program. And Coach admitted that he wanted to come here, but they couldn't bring him in because of the injuries. So when he was down on the field, Coach Prime is telling him, hey, man, you got to get up, because if you don't get up, this team ain't going to do anything without you. He's all about love and uplifting, not only his own team, but just everyone he comes into contact with. He's amazing.
Absolutely. I've been with him now for 3 full football seasons. This is my 4th season with him. I've never not seen him go out there for an opposing injured player. I've been with him at a women's basketball game, and the opposing player went down, and he gets up and tries to get on the court to help, because he goes into dad mode instantly. He can flip back and forth from it, and I guess it's really like a flip. It's on the whole time. And then it's still that tough love, because when it's one of his players, he's like, "Man, get up."
Yep. That's when the other side of dad comes out. So the toughness.
Yeah. My dad used to say to me, "Cowboy up." I don't know what that means, but I got up when he said it.
So you know what it meant?
Yeah. Cowboy up. I'm like on the ground, like skinned knee. Cowboy up. I'm like, okay.
Awesome.
All right. I want to ask you about practice, Neely, but first, a word from our friends at Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Shady Rays has you covered for what is going to be a beautiful day in Boulder, Colorado on Saturday.
It is, man.
Forecast keeps getting better.
It does. The whole week, when you just look past, because we're going to win Saturday.
Yeah.
You want to be able to celebrate the win with some good weather Sunday.
Of course.
It just, it gets better and better the whole week.
Yeah, man.
I sadly have to leave town on Sunday. Killing me.
This guy, man.
Bruce Wayne. I'm telling you, he's a superhero, man. He's going to tell us he's Batman one day. He just always disappears.
He reappears right on time for these shows.
Like, you're going to invite me here, I'm going to be here.
Shady Rays offers a world-class product, durable frames, extremely clear polarized optics. You can shop their entire collection at the Park Meadows Mall or go online to shadyrays.com. Use that code DNVR. You'll get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. And you can try for yourself. The Shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Also, Backus and Shanker, helping Colorado families win for more than 25 years. No fees to speak with them about your case. No fees while they work on your case. And no fees unless they win your case and win money for you, Neely.
Man, I love it. I love it. I would love more money for me. Please keep winning.
Are you done?
They help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault, car accidents, motorcycle rides,
Was that a welcoming, are you done? Or?
Well, I thought he was done, so I was going to say something, but I didn't want to interrupt.
We can even help if you're injured at work. Smash that Shador line 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Shanker wins.
Really quick, if I can talk about myself for a second.
Of course, yeah, go for it.
Look,
my second favorite thing to talk about.
My favorite subject on this show is literally RK. Okay, so please, by all means.
It's such a funny dynamic in my life right now because I got my start covering Colorado football. That's the first thing I ever did. And I think to other people's perspective, I've leveled up from there. I went and covered the NFL. I covered a Super Bowl. I've gotten like a executive title in our company, and we've gone and opened new markets all across the country. And people would say like, "Oh yeah, you've like gone," and like the way it is right now, I don't want to be anywhere but here. Like I don't care about any of the other stuff.
I know.
It's cool, and it's obviously great to grow our business. But I don't I'm cool with this level. This is like, if you asked me when I was 9 years old, when I was sitting out there when they were beating the shit out of Nebraska 62-36, what do you want to do when you grow up? I was like, I either want to play there or I want to be one of the guys talking about what they're doing.
Man, what Coach Prime has done here, Bryce Underwood is tied highly to Michigan. There's another Michigan guy that he's going to be bringing here either this week or very soon. I don't even care, man. So, like, he's turned me into more than a CU fan at this point. I mean, I love this place now.
Mm-hmm. It's a perfect place.
The only thing you failed to do was ask him, was he done?
Were you done?
I think I was done.
You got to get him back, bro. You good? You good? You good?
I want to ask you about practice, though. How's it been this week?
Great. So I'll give you a Charles Kelly quote that he got from Dennis Thurman.
One last thing.
Yeah, because I wasn't done. So go ahead.
On the subject of leveling up, it is also funny, like, this has now jumped. Mm-hmm. Like, people who are covering other teams would now say it's leveling up to come cover this.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's a cool thing. So anyway,
let me sidebar with that before I answer your question. Here's something Coach Prime told me years ago that came true, and it's gonna come true for the three of us, for you individually, and us collectively. We were at a media day, and he said, "Look, let me tell you what's gonna happen. A lot of attention is gonna come to the program. The program that was Jackson State. People are gonna see your access, and it's gonna get to the point where the big boys, the ESPNs, all of that, they're going to have to come to you for information. They're going to be quoting you on the air. They're going to be saying, "Yeah, Neely told us this." Week 3 of the season,
last year,
it happened. Yeah, no, 2 years ago. It happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I go to dinner with ESPN. We're just talking.
Yeah,
like we're just talking, eating dinner. I get home the next day and I'm rewatching the game. They were like, "Yeah, we were at dinner last night with Neely. He told us the defense was going to be stout." I was like, Coach Prime is a prophet. Like, but you remember like how much he spent in broadcasting.
Right.
Yep.
So he was saying, like, from his vantage point, NFL Network, that's what I would do. I would go around and talk to the people who are there because that's how you get the information for a good broadcast.
Right.
And people are going to see, we only play one game. People are going to see, man, damn, RK and Jake are in there, man.
Yeah.
Like, so first what's going to happen? They're going to hate it first.
I was going to say, first thing is jealousy.
The hate comes first. Then it's like, okay, that didn't work. Mm-hmm. Like, let me buddy you up, and then so I'm telling you, it's coming. Yeah. It's coming. We're only one game in.
Oh, yeah.
Now ask me again how was practice.
Well,
he derailed me, by the way.
Sorry,
it's all good.
It was honestly a good derailment.
I want to ask you about practice. You were going to say something about what Charles Kelly said, though.
Yeah, Charles Kelly has a quote that he gave me that he got from Dennis Thurman that Dennis Thurman got from Tom Landry.
Okay.
If you want to have a great Saturday, you got to have a bad Tuesday. Mm. That's what I said. I would think you want every day.
Yeah.
It's like when Tuesday is bad, you're going to have a great Saturday because it gives you this stuff to work on and fix and and it gets you there. And I'll be damned if it hadn't happened this week. Mm-hmm. Like today's practice was, hey, man, look how quiet the coaches are. Like they're actually satisfied. They're happy.
Wow.
Like there's not a lot to fix. So, coming off that high, man, of that win, Coach Prime is one of those guys where you work on Sunday. If you didn't play in 50% of the snaps, if you played in 50%, it's kind of a walkthrough day. Off on Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice. Friday, kind of mental walkthrough day. You talk to Coach Sean Lewis, and he's like, "Hey, no, when we get done Thursday, we're done." Mm-hmm. Because if it ain't cooked yet, it's just gonna spoil the meal trying to put it on a dish before Saturday comes. So this week of practice, man, guys were really focused on correcting what went wrong there and making sure that things that went right wasn't a fluke, that we could still do them. And that's why I was saying earlier, it's so fitting that we're in the linebacker room because if you talk to Coach Hart, he was let down by his linebacker play. Yeah. Because those 3 plays, run plays, that total of 137 yards, the linebackers allowed. Mm. In his mind, the linebackers allowed. Sure. So we have to focus on stopping the run because one thing we know is going to happen, Nebraska's going to run the ball.
Yep. Oh, yeah. They're going to try.
That's I was about to pause. It won't be successful, but that's their game plan. Their quarterback is going to run the ball. Their running backs are going to run the ball. Like they are a running team. And so it's going to be incumbent more than it was at TCU for the D-line, stop the run, disrupt the quarterback, but more so those linebackers to be patient, to read, eye discipline, and go get the ball versus trying to make too much happen and a guy blows by you for 50 yards.
Yep. You talk about bad Tuesday, good Saturday, and it took me back to our show after the scrimmage.
Okay.
At that day, we were 2 weeks.
It was pretty bad.
We were 2 weeks away from this last Saturday.
Yeah.
And it wasn't great.
No, it wasn't good.
And we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there the other day thinking about all the things that went wrong that day. And you didn't see any of that pop up on Saturday. It was, the big thing was offensive penalties hurting big plays.
Yep.
What did they have offensively?
I don't even remember offensively. We only had 6 total as a team.
Total. Yeah, so I'm thinking 3 offensive penalties.
Yeah.
I think 3 that came on one drive, too.
Yeah, and I think they still converted it. Didn't they? Is that the 3rd and 16?
I think so, yeah.
It was 30-16.
It's crazy, man. Just the job that this coaching staff did from that day to last Saturday, getting this team prepared. And it's not like they were always making those mistakes throughout all of fall camp. But when you walked away from that, I was like, okay, well, maybe penalties will be an issue for this team.
Well, penalties are always an issue week 1.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a part. We talked about that during our prediction shows. Like, it's a part of week 1 and thereby, week 2, because coaches will tell you in coach talk, the biggest improvement you're supposed to see in the season is from 1 to 2.
Yep.
Right.
And then 2 on out, there's not a lot of big spikes here and there because you're playing football. But 1 to 2 is supposed to get better. Man, we only had 6.
I know. Let's go for 0.
We only had 6. Oh, that's always the prime goal.
Yeah.
Because if you commit a penalty, you're running a gasser at practice.
Tough.
And a gasser for him is not just down; it's down and back.
Mm-hmm.
So like you mess up, have 2 penalties. Like it's.
Well, when we were at the scrimmage, he was telling the wide receivers, run to the end zone. When you catch this ball, run all the way to the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching this unfold, and I literally had anxiety over it. I won't name names, but one of the players caught it, and I saw him slowing down, and I was like, please finish, please finish, please finish. He stops like right next to Coach Prime. He must have just not heard him because I can't imagine anyone would be that dumb. And Coach Prime, give me a lap.
Well,
2 plays later, another guy does it. And I was like, no. 2 laps.
The problem comes in is so much muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
So you said that was the spring game, right?
That was the scrimmage.
The scrimmage game. Same point. Thank you for the clarity. These guys at that point had played football more at other places than they played here.
Yep.
And so they are used to playing for coaches that when you're practicing and it's a 5-yard screen pass, man, we got to get to the next play. Don't run your ass down there. Like, bring the ball back. Mm-hmm. Like, they're used to that. Now you're playing with a coach who coaches you to recognize success. You're going to score.
Yep.
You can score every time you touch the ball. Act like it. Take the ball to the end zone. I don't care if it's 80 yards from where we're practicing. Mm-hmm. And so they get out there, and the old muscle memory kicks in. It's like, okay, that's enough. It ain't enough for this staff. You got to run your ass to the end zone.
Yep.
Even on defense, when they blow a coverage, so you got to go route RK and Jake. RK gets by me at the 40. And from the 40 on in, he's past me. You're about to bear crawl for 40 yards.
Yeah.
Mm. You're going to go from the end zone to where you got beat at bear crawling to help you remember, don't let nobody get behind you.
Well, and it's a twofold, right? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. 1, it teaches the discipline. Don't make that mistake. 2, it conditions you. And we saw how well conditioned they were the other day.
No cramps.
No.
Like TCU was over there falling out.
Were.
We had no cramps.
Yep.
And everybody was talking about what is going to happen when Colorado goes to play and it's 105 outside and that humidity in Texas. And nothing happened. Because of Coach Mo, his staff, the hydration, not just that week, but 2 weeks before the game. The guys were ready for that Texas heat, man.
Yeah, it was only water and Gatorade, right, for the last 2 weeks.
Glad I'm not on the team because I love the apple juice up here.
Right. I saw Zay have a glass of apple juice yesterday, and he was like, finally, I've been wanting this so bad.
Can I ask you about a few guys at practice? And you can tell me whatever.
Let's do it, man. That's what I'm here for.
All right.
Yeah. There was somebody in the comments last week. Oh, I hate Neely. He's a know-it-all. I think that's why they have me here.
Yeah.
Tell us what you know that happened.
Yes.
So I'm not going to apologize for coming across as a know-it-all. Like, it's why you guys are here. You know everything about CU. You know everything about the stats and data. We put it together. We have a great damn show.
Yep.
But some guys there don't want me to know anything.
It's hard.
So what I'm going to do to satisfy them, you ask me a question, I'm going to first say I don't know.
Okay. Well, first, I mean, we know Slusher's not going to play.
Yeah.
Coach said that on Tuesday. I know Nebraska's watching too. But what do you think they're going to do at that position? Who could maybe step up and be that guy?
Oh, man, it's like an easy next man up.
You forgot to say I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because I'm a know-it-all, so it's hard to. Thank you for the reminder. Oh, Jake, that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do without Slusher. If only Charles Kelly had a defense that was designed where people were multi-trained and can fill in for gaps and spaces where you're going from safety to star, what have you, we wouldn't have anything to worry about it. But a know-it-all would know that. I'm not a know-it-all, so I don't know that. But we're going to be good, man. Just, joking with whoever was in the chat. We're going to be good. This team has depth. It has depth all across the secondary, linebackers, and, safety. So I would guess they're going to throw some guys out there by committee, kind of game time testing them. But the biggest thing, and this even goes to the offense side of the ball, because you said Nebraska is watching. Nebraska also watched us play TCU.
Sure.
Here's what they saw, which is what they didn't see. We didn't get to everything.
No. Of course not.
There was stuff that we got off that bus knowing we're going to do it this game and never got in the situation to use it.
Yep.
You're going to see some of that stuff this week. So you still don't know this team yet.
Well, and here's the thing. Nebraska, I don't know this. I think Nebraska knows they can't cover this team in man coverage.
Absolutely. Let's hope. Let's hope they don't know that, and they try.
Yes, let's really hope that.
Oh, God, please line up behind the man.
But it's a double-edged sword for them because if you were to go out there and say, okay, let's play man, you have an idea of how Colorado likes to attack man.
Right.
You have no idea of how Colorado wants to attack zone right now. So you can game plan all you want for what you saw. You can play hard flat and take away Dylan Edwards coming out of the backfield. But Colorado's not going to Dylan Edwards out of the backfield if Shedeur gets up there and says, okay, well, this is zone. There's probably someone flashing out to the flat, so Dylan's not going to be there. Well, what I do know is the second that he goes out to Dylan, Zay's turning around, and I got him on the hook.
Dude, it's really that easy. Conceptually, it's really that easy. One of the things we know about this Nebraska team, the same people out there who told us, oh, y'all talking about Dylan Edwards too much, you're giving it away, they're going to stop him. And you saw what happened.
Yep.
So I'm going to say something now that, a layman out there would think you're talking too much, but it just is what it is. Nebraska allows you to catch the ball. Like, they play off.
Yeah.
They believe more in their tackling than their coverage. So I'm going to let Jake catch the ball, and I'm going to knock the hell out of him and see if he wants to catch the next one, or maybe cause a fumble, or maybe I'm going to get a strip. But they let you catch the ball. We got guys that if you let them catch the ball and they make that first guy miss, man, it's gone. Yeah. It's gone. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. When the talent differential is that great between who the offensive guy is and who the defensive guy is, and we have some favorable matchups this weekend.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, the country might be a little disappointed in terms of the big, flashy, long, deep throws from Shedeur because they got so excited over that last week. I think that Nebraska is going to try and say, hey, we'll do anything but let them go over the top of us. So it's it's a little bit more of like a defensive fight on their part, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to say, let's get in the corner and put our hands up and just try and play defense. People who know football should end up being more impressed with Shedeur after this game because they're going to see, oh, he doesn't care. However you play him, he will take what you're giving him.
Amen, brother. You preaching. Keep preaching. I'm in the black church. I'm not saying stop talking. I'm amening you. And amen means give me more. Don't stop.
The big players or the big plays. God damn it.
I couldn't believe he just.
I was just trying to move on. The big plays are going to come from individuals, like you're mentioning. Jimmy Horn's going to catch a quick little turnaround and make one guy miss and just split the seam all the way down the field. It might be a screen to Dylan Edwards again. It might be, Travis making a crazy juke, like catches it on the slant, turns around, goes the other way. It's going to be a little bit more of easy stuff for Shedeur and spectacular plays from the playmakers.
Amen. And I think that people who don't know Shedeur yet, whether you're a CU fan or not, Shedeur fan or not, they don't know how much he values winning over his individual stats. So you could watch last week and be like, oh, man, I got to tune in because I know Shedeur is going to try to get 6 touchdowns. No, he's going to try to win.
Yep.
Like he's going to go, oh, man, Javon Antonio wasn't in the game. Well, because what was working was working. And Shedeur ain't that guy that just breaks the huddle and goes like, oh, man, Jake looks like he need the ball. Let me give it to him.
Right.
No, RK has just ran for 3 of them. Let me give it back to him. He's still open.
Yep.
So I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be 600 yards passing and 8 touchdowns. It's going to be whatever it takes for his offense to be successful because that's the way he's trained and he manages the game. You give him deep, he's taking deep. You give him underneath. And the problem with giving him underneath, his accuracy is so damn pinpoint. And now he's hitting a guy that can make the first 2 guys miss.
Yep. Right.
So it's like, all right, 10-yard pass for 80-yard yards. The yards after catch go to me too. I'm cool.
And you know what he would probably love more than anything? The running game going crazy. Because that's what everyone's saying is the negative on this offense right now, right? So if he would love it if they go out there and run for 250 yards.
Sure. What I'm thinking, and by the time you guys see this, it's probably going to be out on Twitter. What I'm going to do is cut up all the screens and easy plays that Sean Lewis designed, and they executed really well last Saturday. Because that's an extension of the run game. They may have only ran for 55 yards total, and Shedeur was sacked a few times, so you take 30-some yards off of that. I believe the running backs ran for 90 yards last week. But Dylan had a 75-yard screen go to the house. Yep. The 4th and 2.
Yeah, 4th and 2
was behind the line of scrimmage when he caught the ball, or at the line of scrimmage, and that went to the house.
Absolutely, and it's when you talk about quarterback IQ and ability, he still places the ball where directionally and momentum it's where the runner needs it to be. Of course, like Dylan Edwards didn't have to turn around and come 3 steps back and get the ball.
Yep.
And when you see Zay downfield or Travis, he puts the ball where you're headed. And so it's like in stride, in momentum. You're not like, oh, let me reach back and get this complete stop. Now I got to run.
Right.
Like the guy is accurate with the ball. His window, unbelievably accurate.
I'll just say this about the running game, and this is the new school in me. And old school football heads will hate this. But to me, you're doing the defense a favor by running at them, by going towards them. This team is built to run away from them.
Yeah, run around them.
Let them run away from them. And, that's even just Dylan running to the flat, running away from a linebacker trying to get him. When you hand the ball off and you go to the middle, you are running to them.
Yep.
And it's a great thing when you can do it well and execute it. And it really can take a team's will. But it can also take a team's will when they know these guys are running away from us and we just can't catch them.
Yep.
I will say this about Nebraska. And even more so because of this game. This is a rivalry game. In as much as we hate them, they hate us. In as much as we want Deion Sanders, Coach Prime's first game at home to be all this and then some, they want to ruin it, right? I will give them this. They hit. They have some big boys, and they hit. So that's their strategy of like, no, let Jay catch it, and let's see if he catches another one.
Yep.
Like, so I get it when your back is against the wall and that's all you got. So I don't want people to think we're sitting here talking about these guys will be a cupcake, a pusher, or whatever. They got 45-pound plates in their weight room.
Yep.
They got a cafeteria. They eat. They're going to come ready to play. I just love how we match up with them. Yeah. Like, I like our D-line over their O-line. I like our O-line over their D-line. I like our guys out of the slot in the backfield over their linebackers. I like our quarterback over their quarterback. Their quarterback is hut, run. I was just hut. I'm reading what's there for me.
Yep.
Take the best thing.
What are you giving me?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we got a guest coming on. So real quick, shout out to our friends at Fubo TV. You get 140-plus live channels of sports shows, movies, and news. You can also stream this weekend's Nebraska-Colorado rivalry on Fubo TV. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Just sign up and start watching. You get 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. Watch all your favorite college football and the NFL with Fubo. Go to www.fubotv.com/DNVR to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. Then game time. I mean, these tickets are going hot, man. It's probably
the highest ticket in the nation.
These tickets are more expensive than NFL tickets on Sunday, man. It's insane. Game Time's got you guys covered. If you download the Game Time app, sign up with code DNVR, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, Redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
$371 on Game Time right now.
There you go.
Wow.
Mr. Shane Cokes.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, bro.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm got to get used to this, though.
Yeah.
My voice. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of it, so get used to it. Shane,
If you're like me, you like hearing your own voice pumped into your ears.
he loves his own voice. And I know this because I love my own voice. But the only voice I love more than RK's and mine is Shane Coke's voice. That's why I talk to him so much. Just listen. I call him Brainiac on the sack. The guy is a cerebral assassin out there, man. He can play some ball. Shane Cokes, before we go to Nebraska, let's take it back to TCU real quick. We won. You know, I interviewed you post-game. You were like, hey, that's it. We won. Like, we got some stuff to clean up. So let's look at the cleanup. This ain't fair, but it's football. When the other team successfully runs, who gets blamed?
D-line.
Period. Doesn't matter if it's right. Like, that's what's going to happen. TCU has some successful runs. What have you guys been focused on this week for Nebraska?
Stopping the run at all costs. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, like you said earlier with Jeff Sims, I mean, he's a running quarterback basically, and then the running backs they have and their O-line, their offense is set up to run. So that's our focus this week. That's our game plan, especially what happened after last week. Like you said, whether it's our fault or not, it's on us. Like, we're to blame, and we should be. We got to take accountability for that. If anything the D-line does, we have to stop the run. Like, whatever you do, you can't run the ball on us. You got to beat us through the air. So that's the focus this week. That's the game plan.
Do you relish that opportunity this week to almost right the ship of, hey, last week they were able to run on us. This week we're pretty confident that if we stop them from that, we can win this game, or we will win this game. And also, we'll get our flowers for correcting those mistakes.
Yeah, no, I mean, just with the performance from us in general, I mean, we didn't have any TFLs, any sacks. So, I mean, this is our week to produce. This is our week to show that what we're doing here, this is what we come to do. This is what the D-line does here at Colorado. So I think just righting that wrong, I guess you would say, from last week and this week, I mean, we're all excited for it, ready to play on Saturday.
Well, Shane, you guys didn't have any sacks or TFLs, but you guys were getting after Chandler Morris last weekend. I mean, he's a very athletic guy. He was running around. You play another one this week. What are the challenges of trying to keep him in front of you and just make sure he doesn't rip off, a 70-yard run down the sideline?
Yeah, I think both with Chandler and then Jeff Sims, I mean, just going against athletic quarterbacks, I think the biggest thing is just having accountability with the rush and just making sure your rush lanes are on point, I guess you would say, just because, you have to box them in. They're great with their feet, especially Jeff Sims, more so than Chandler Morris. So understanding how to keep them in the pocket and force them to beat us in the air rather than with their legs.
So, Shane, another look back that's really to look ahead. To me, it was defensively a game of two halves, literally. We get a 3-and-out, to open the game. The first half is you could just tell we're going to beat these guys. There was no sense of panic on the sideline. You just knew defensively we can stop them. Offense, first half was, kind of flat. We get to, post halftime, it changes. You guys disappear, offense comes on. Talk to me.
I mean, I don't know if there's any way to really cut it, but I think just understanding that we know what we can do. I mean, like you said, the first 3-and-out, first series, got them off the field. I think offense scored on that first drive also. So just knowing we have the ability to do that every time. And I mean, just the amount of mistakes we made, mental errors, and then just us, like we said, it was just D-line just giving up that run game. I think we understand the wrongs that we did, and now we know what the corrections we needed to do and the changes we need to make. So just come into that game understanding what our potential is and as high as expectations we have for ourselves, and I mean the coaches have for us. We know that, we understand that, and we want to exceed those at all costs. So we're just excited to get back to it.
It's got to be good for your guys' confidence. I don't think that you guys are the ones that would have lost confidence. But when you knew they had to throw, that defensive line had their best series of the game, in my opinion. So that's got to feel good for you guys to say, hey, we had some lapses here and there, but when the game was on the line, we went out there and made winning plays.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, that last series, D-Mac, JD, the whole D-line in general, DV. I think just understand, like, we have that potential. Like, we have that ability to rush the passer, but we got to stop the run first. That's the biggest thing. Like, that's the main goal for us. And then doing that and then allowing our guys and everybody to go out there, get the quarterback, like, that's what you live for. Third down, money down.
Yeah.
You are a vocal leader on this team. We've seen some of your speeches. They get me fired the hell up.
You know what I got to do? Pardon the interruption. I got to send you the unedited version.
Yeah.
Because when he really fires them up, like, I can't put it out word for word. Like, that's the ones that you would really run through a wall
Yeah,
for.
send that to me. I'll just use it to get out of bed in the morning. This week is different. This is Nebraska. As a vocal leader on this team, what are you doing to kind of understand the rivalry and also just like pass that on to your teammates through your leadership?
I think, rivalry week, everyone has a rivalry at some point in their life. High school, college, us coming from previous colleges. I think just taking that hatred and that anger and bringing it to this time in this school and this point. I mean, I think I saw a video you guys did with what was it? Sal's Dead, Go Big Red, and like understanding the history of the rivalry and what Coach Mack did to circle Nebraska and point them as the enemy of Colorado. I think just understand that, taking it all into account and just understand that it's bigger than us. Like, it's bigger than all the transfers that are coming now. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than Coach Prime. This has been a rivalry for a long time, so treat it as such. So just understanding that point, understand they're going to treat it as such too. So this is a rivalry game, so treat it so. Whatever school you hated back in the day, wherever you came from, like for us it was Harvard, so I'm used to not liking red. So I mean, just treat it like that and play to your ability. It will be fine.
I'm so happy you saw that video. Like, I was literally right before you got here saying, I just hope they know about Sal's Dead. Go
He
Big
literally
Red.
asked me that.
I said, because I'm like, that's when it became personal. That crosses a line, man. That's not okay. And their fans, they try to like have this reputation. They're the nicest fans in the country and all this bullshit. But when you do something like that, you lose that ability to say anything like that, and that makes it real for us.
Who is given the most fired up speech during rivalry week this week?
Oof. The most fired up speech. I think Coach Riley's speech today was good.
I was about to say Trevor. You're talking about the same person, Trevor Riley. I thought his was short and to the point, but it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked. Yeah. It was he spoke post practice today. It was real simple. Like,
Yeah.
I heard Sean Lewis had a good one.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the team meeting on Tuesday.
The caveat with that one though, RK, was that it went immediately into scout reports, and so the meeting became the scouting report. And you forgot about that. Damn, he just encouraged me. He went to the nuts and bolts, but it was a good one.
Yeah. Coach Lewis and then Coach Riley. I say both of them for sure.
Yeah. Shane, let me go individually. Like right now in the building, Terrell Owens is back. Cordell Stewart is here, and I know the name on the back of your jersey, Coach, means a lot to you. Your mom is always excited. She comments on posts. Love seeing you play. So I know you got a lot of people to play for. But to have Warren Sapp here and you wear 99, what was it like when you're doing drills or out there working and knowing 99 is watching you? And I saw him talk to you after practice some. Like, what does that do to you when Coach Brian brings these special people around and they get to see you do your thing?
I mean, the first thing is crazy. Like, I don't think like anyone ever in their life like expects like to meet like a great like that. Like, I never did. Like meeting Warren Sapp, and then not only meeting him, but just like letting him just be there and then coaching you. Like, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better. Just like hearing him talk, just like understanding how he played the game, the way he played, how he prepared. I mean, like he was helping us with pass rush moves, like his philosophy with. I mean, it was you can't you can't appreciate it enough. I mean, I was the same when Michael Irvin came in, like the playmaker. Like
he's on offense.
I was about to say he's on offense, but just hearing stories about him from my dad and just seeing him on whatever network he was on like before the game. I mean, it's crazy. It's really unreal. And I know I always say like I appreciate it, but and I also say like I think I'll appreciate it like more even afterwards. Just like I was able to be coached by Warren Sapp and talk to him and have those conversations in the hot tub, in the cold tub with him.
That's the one that got me y'all in the tub together.
It's really the coolest thing where I can't appreciate it enough.
Also, he's hilarious.
A comedian.
Yes.
Dude, just like I can't show like his unedited speech, Warren's jokes, like the stuff we do, like, oh man, like it is unbelievable. He's like, oh my God, like it would make the writers of South Park pack it in anyway, man. We're too offensive.
Shane, Unc told us earlier that, guys like Trevor, Tank, who have been here before, have helped kind of, I guess, bring this rivalry to life for you guys. What have you learned from them this week? Just about the rivalry.
I think just like I said, or just like how important it is to them. I think that's another thing to take into account. Like, we know it's important to university as a whole, to the coaching staff, just to what this game is this weekend. But just hearing it from people who played on this team for the past 3 or 4 years, understanding how they felt and how they understand the rivalry as it is. I think just getting that personal account from them, I think just helped escalate it more.
It's awesome.
Good stuff.
Awesome
Hey man,
stuff,
we appreciate you stopping by, but I know that you got some either film or homework or
Both tonight.
So we appreciate your time, Shane Coates 99, and good luck for this game. I'm looking forward to it. Like I told these guys before in our audience, I believe in this D-line. Spend a lot of time watching you guys and watch Coach Salas teach you. I would not have believed that we didn't get a tackle for a loss. If you pregame, you said I wouldn't have believed it. But I am telling you this week, we're getting some tackles for losses and we're getting some sacks.
You're going to get some sacks for
We're
sure.
getting some sacks.
We're getting them.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I've seen the work and what these guys are refocused on. The run will be stopped.
And when you do, maybe we'll have you on the postgame show to talk about
let's
it a
do
little
it.
bit.
I would say appreciate this. Thank y'all for having me
No
on.
problem,
Man.
Shane.
99, Shane Coates.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Hey,
Shane.
number 99 in jersey, but number 1 in your heart. Y'all
There you
go
go.
buy his jersey, shirts. Get all the NIL for Shane Coates you can.
Appreciate it.
All right, brother.
All right. Quick shout out to Breckenridge Brewery. You guys know we love our Breck brews here at DNVR. They've got a beer for every occasion. We got a tailgate on Sunday. Come hang out with us there just outside Mile High. We'll be out there partying, drinking some Breck brews, or just come to DNVR Bar. We got you covered there as well. You can find a Breck brew wherever you are using their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com.
Morgan Freeman of Colorado.
All right.
We put out that video to educate fans.
I know.
I didn't know it's going to help educate the team.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's sick.
It is sick. Yeah, sick in a good way. Now they'll be in the comments. Neely said it was sick.
No, you're good on that one.
You're good.
You're
Sick in a
safe, you're
good
safe
way.
on that one.
Yeah, sick in a good way. So shout out to y'all for putting it out, man.
Of course.
Just because you just can't assume people know. And one of the things we got to recognize that we've all recognized as far as this roster flip and what Coach Prime has done, we have to, Coach Hart, come on in here. We have to also appreciate that means guys don't know certain things, So it goes hand in hand. You got to tell them.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
Try to be all quiet.
No, so here's the thing. Like this, we're doing the show, right? Coach Pollock and Coach Hart are in the room. We're doing the show, but it goes out Friday morning. Normally we're live for pregame, but it's going to be so busy with Nebraska stuff, we're doing a pre-record. And there happens to be a headset right here.
Who wants first?
I'm just saying.
Come on.
It just happens to be a headset. I just have happened to been talking about how Coach Hart has really challenged the linebackers because he felt like those big runs that we gave up at TCU were on them. And then he happened to walk in the room. If he doesn't want to get the headset and talk about it, that's on him. We'll continue to do it. But he's getting the headset.
I
There
think he
is.
wants us to get the hell out of here so he can get back to work.
How you doing, Coach?
Not doing that good. Not doing that good. He's right. It's on me right now. It's a monkey on my back, and I got to get it off. I'd rather play tonight. I don't know if we can call any of the representatives at Nebraska and get some travel plans hooked up, or I know some logistics to it, but let's move it to tonight. I'd rather play right now tonight.
I bet the stadium would still be full.
You know what? I think so too. I think people out there camping out right now.
Yep.
Gee, that's crazy.
So, Coach, we win the game. You were less than satisfied with your room, with your unit. Thank you for allowing us to use your room for this broadcast. What have you seen?
He's going to be less than satisfied with the room after we're done here, too.
What have you seen from post game through practice Thursday to let you know it's going in the right direction for this week?
They've taken the words that I've used to
Which
heart.
others I can't put out.
Yeah. They're taking the words I've used to heart, and they are processing information faster. I am seeing that. We have a lot more triggering going, pulling the pin, and a lot more aggressive. So that's a great start. And the communication has been there with the defensive line. So I'm really, honestly, I'm really excited to see how we play, and that's really why I want to play tonight.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait to, I think all athletes are like that. Even if you win, if you feel like you left something on the field that's undesirable or doesn't really fit who you are or what Colorado football is, you want to play.
Yeah.
Like you want to play, you want to get it off your back. I know as a coach, after any loss I've ever had in my life, the longest week was after the loss.
Yep.
I mean, the longest week, like it just watching paint dry to get to the next game because you're trying to get that off your back, So,
Real quick, you just named this segment for us. Take it to heart.
oh, look at that.
We got that.
Take
We got
it
that
to
going.
heart.
Take it to heart. And then
Okay,
the
I
other
like that.
the other thing I wanted to ask is, isn't it great though to learn and to win? The losses are long, but to learn and win at the same time is a much better place to be.
There is a horizon. There is a bright horizon when you win and you can still learn from it. Coach DT, Dennis Thurman, who's with us, has been a great mentor to me and taught me a lot in the locker room. He could see I was not very pleased. And, it's 3 plays, man. It was 3 plays that gave up 130 yards, right? Yeah. If you take away those 3 plays, it doesn't look that bad.
Yep.
But they're there, right? And he told me, he said, listen, man, he said, we can get in the film room next practice. We can correct all this. What you can't correct is the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Forever in history, it's 2023, September 2nd, Colorado football opened up and beat the runner-up to national championships. It'll be ever cemented in history, and we'll be a part of that. So I took that. But, of course, we have a standard here, and we want to make Boulder proud, man. We love the enthusiasm and excitement you got, but we're accountable people,
Yep.
We're winners, and we see things a little bit differently. I'll give you an example. In my room, in my house, friends come over, family, they don't like watching football with me because I will watch a live game like I'm watching tape. I'm serious. I'll rewind that thing. We'll stay on 2nd and long, and it was a dive play. And I'm looking at footsteps and how they got to the ball, and I'm trying to mimic that and get it to my kids. And I think all coaches are like that. Go to the game. I don't buy tickets on the sideline, 50-yard line, 45-yard line. I want to be second level behind the field goal post.
Yep.
End zone view, butt shot is how we call it in college in football, and I'm calling out coverages, I'm calling out motions, where they're running the ball, who missed the gap, who didn't fit right. That's where I want to be, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of it.
One of the things that you pointed out today with your group doing individuals, you had a guy walk down and you said, tell him the call. It's going to be loud Saturday.
It's going to be
Don't
loud.
assume he can hear you from back there. Go tell him. And I was like, man, that is such a teachable moment because guys kind of get in habit at practice. And because we're practicing in a confined space and the music is off, you make a call and it's almost whispering and he hears you. But you were making sure they were practicing the game time environment.
Absolutely. If you practice like you're in the game, then the game will be practiced. I think that's one of our sayings on the wall that Prime has. And so, it's going to be loud, man. I mean, Boulder's going to be crunk. It's going to be hype. It's personal. That's the theme.
Yep.
There's a rivalry here. And, the loudest voice is going to be a whisper in that stadium. So you need to walk up and make sure everybody's on the same page and we're communicating with each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. That's what I'm looking at right now. I can see myself with them glasses, and I'm telling you right now, boy, you making me look good. Oh, my God. Keep them on, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting confidence right now. And I'm also drinking my mango mineral water in the cafeteria.
At the machine?
At the machine with
Oh
the
my
B12
God, it's
and
the
stuff
best
like
water.
that. It's the best
Oh, it's
water.
the best water.
I mean, it's just so healthy here in Colorado.
Oh, that mango
Boulders.
water, man, I just sit under it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I found out though. I did a blood test. Getting healthy, nutrition and stuff. And they say that mangoes are one of my top fruits I should be eating.
Oh, there you go.
You know?
Can't eat them, drink them.
Drink them. I got a juicer too.
Yeah.
I've been doing the juicing, and it's crazy. Juicing beets is not fun.
So they get, they
I'm
have,
telling you.
they got,
Dude, you changed since you got to Boulder,
but
man.
they got beet juice, right? When you come through the line, and it's a sign says beet juice for players only. I asked the lady this morning. I said, "Does anybody else really try to get that?"
Right.
And she's
But
like, "Well, sometimes." Like, I don't think you need a sign saying that's players only. I don't
think
see
you
the
do
line around the block for beet juice.
I don't think you do either. But I was like, when I saw the sign, I was like, okay, well, I just go get my own beets then. So go to the farmer's market.
That's a different Beats by Dre.
That's another one.
this is Dre.
Dude, you're good.
Andre Hart, Dre
You gotta
Beats.
catch up, man. Last time, you gotta catch. That's a good Beats by Dre. I'm using these.
I mean, now he
These
ain't been
is
here
good
long,
segments.
and
These
he
are good
already shooting
segments.
at you. I'm just saying, Jake.
I just need you to come on. Give me something.
All right, I'll talk to you about some ball then. You guys played. You don't want to talk ball?
Yeah, I love ball.
I'm not touching it.
You played a very athletic quarterback last week. You're playing a guy who really loves to run the ball. You're playing 11 on 11 basically in the run game this week.
Yes.
What are the challenges kind of dealing with that extra guy, the ball carrier, being a quarterback?
It's the QB plus one. That's always a challenge for a defense. When you got a QB that can run the ball and he's back there and he can add an extra blocker by the running back being a lead blocker, you even up the pocket. You know what I mean? So you even up the box, excuse me. So the QB plus one, especially when he's an athlete, that is the challenge. Mm-hmm. You have to keep him in the pocket, and you got to make him a pocket quarterback. Mm-hmm. Listen, everybody, there's no bulletproof material. Every coach says that. If you got an athletic quarterback that can run and throw, I'd rather him throw than run, because in different coverages that we may be in, we may have our backs turned sometime. And now, second and long or third and long can turn into a first down or third and short very quickly when a quarterback is athletic like that, So when you got those type of guys, make him one-dimensional, and it would be without his legs. Make him throw the ball, and let's see what can happen, because, Coach Pollock, he's here. He's a great offensive guru. He probably could tell you, sometimes on those teams when your quarterback is that athletic, your wide receiver skill position, you don't pay as much attention to, meaning they may not be the most skilled because they feel like they ain't going to get the ball. This guy's going to take off running. So you may get other kind of receivers that are not necessarily burners, but they do other things well to help your QB run game, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And when you look at Nebraska right now, from what we've studied and some of their condensed sets and things that they do, it's a lot for the QB run to make sure he's comfortable and successful.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a line change here, huh?
Yeah. Put your shades right here so I can still. Yeah, I don't know if anybody sees, but we're gonna just kind of prop these like here and we're gonna just.
Oh, there we go.
We're gonna shuffle down. See, we coaches, we're smart now. We
Cross
know how
those wires. That's all right.
Yeah. Put this right here.
What's up, Coach Pollock?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
Doing great, man.
That's beautiful.
For both of y'all, what has it been like just learning about this rivalry and trying to embrace it this week?
Well, I've kept up with Colorado football for a long time. In terms back in the 80s and 90s when, they won a national championship, and you just knew back in the Big 8 days it was either Nebraska, Oklahoma, or Colorado that was coming out of the Big 8. So it was a big rivalry then. As soon as you get here, you learn pretty quick. We had a visit from Coach McCartney early on. We got here, and just you could tell he had set the standard back when he was here about. We don't wear red in the building, and we got signs up this week not to wear red, but we pretty much feel that way every week because it's that big of a deal. And I've been excited because bringing in our kids like we did with the transfer portal and having kids that are a lot of kids from the Southeast that probably don't know as much about the rivalry thing. It was really nice that our kids do know. They're well aware of what this game means to this community and this university. And they're all on board. They're there to take care of business Saturday.
Love it, man.
Coach Hart?
I just like hearing him talk.
Dude, I was going to say, our show has never sounded more like a football show
I'm just trying to
than
tell
when
you.
that man speaks.
You see what I'm saying? Like, What you want me to say? what you trying to do?
This is why you do the show with him, then, huh?
Yes,
Just to hear him talk more?
the whistle, baby.
The whistle.
We out here.
I got to get my whistle out.
I got whistle out. We teaming up. You know what I'm saying? There's no conflict here. We're all
That's right.
Media for Boulder right now.
Absolutely, man.
This is great, man.
We need everybody to tune into the whistle right after the pregame
Yes,
show.
sir.
Maybe the whistle will be their postgame show.
There you go.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
That's
yeah,
right.
Get that plug in. There you go.
Absolutely, man.
Got to, man.
Go to the pregame show on YouTube. My man. Get them views up, people. Let's go.
Oh, let's go.
What a pro.
Let's go. I love it, dude.
This stadium on Saturday is going to be unreal.
Yeah.
How much are you guys looking forward to just like running out behind Ralphie, having the first home game here, getting a chance to, put on a show in front of these fans?
Well, I'm not running up behind Ralphie. I will be in the tunnel when he circles. She circles and hits the cage. Yeah. I will then come out. You know what I'm saying? I look to hear the roar of the crowd, from what I understand, and the festivities, and I can't wait to see because Cordell, Stewart's here.
Yeah.
Slash is here, and he told me, he said, "Man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be nothing like you ever seen before. You're gonna go to sleep Friday night. When you wake up Saturday morning, it's all gonna be different. Like the appearance of the stadium, all the fanfare, it's just gonna look different. It's gonna say," he said, "just inhale it, man. Yeah. Inhale that Boulder pride, that Buffalo pride, and then go out there and just show out because it's gonna be with you. Like the vibe and energy is gonna be with you." And I heard it, Marvin Helm, one of my linebackers, he's played here last year, and he told me, when they played here before, he could not hear anything. Like it is that loud here.
And that's a 1-11 team.
And that's a 1-11 team.
Different.
So I really want to see how loud it's going to be because I thought it was pretty loud at TCU. I thought that was pretty loud. But everybody tells me
it's going to blow that out of the water.
So look here, Boulder. This is my challenge now because I heard TCU was loud to me. Now they tell me y'all are louder. So if that's the case, I'm ready.
Let me just
I want to hear it. I want to see it. Let's do it.
Let me just tell you this from my perspective. I've been to over 100 games in this stadium. At TCU, I thought this is quiet.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait, man.
Awesome. That's great, right there.
Wow.
I
cannot wait.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Now, I was up top, so I'm sure it's louder when everyone's trying to pour the sound down on you.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, just wait till next week. It's going to be
this is great.
Electric.
Yeah, we're excited, and I tell you what, when we got on the plane, of course, it's so funny. I mean, you get off from a game like that, and you go to the locker room, and everybody's excited, and then you pick up your phone, and there's like 150 missed text messages from all over the country, people just congratulating you. And then you start getting on social media, and you see what's going on back in Boulder. I mean, it was crazy what was going on in Boulder while we're trying to get back here. And so I'm excited to be here while that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
I thought my CTE kicked in. I thought we had already won the championship. I missed like 12 games or something. We had won because I was like, did we win the national? What happened? Like cars was going down, people was honking and doing. That was exciting, man. That was fun to see. Yeah. Okay.
These people have been starved for a long time, man. They did just the fact that they have something to believe in. Yeah. Goes a long way. There's that word again, believe. Huh? I was going to say, dude.
Hey.
There it is.
I know. Do you have any other knowledge you'd be willing to drop on us today like you did last week?
I got plenty of knowledge, man. All I do is read books all day and study film. So, yeah, I got
What have you been reading?
Stuff. Lately?
Yeah.
I've been reading Human Nature. The Human Nature. I've also been reading The Power of 48. And then I'm just starting a new book that I haven't gotten into just yet, but I'm going to start. It's called The Psychology of Money. Ooh. Yeah. So I need to figure that out before I go broke.
And right there, you've already read more books than I ever have.
Yeah. It's very interesting, though. The Psychology of Money was very interesting because it's not about a financial plan. It's more about how you grew up, your experiences, and how you see money and how you spend money and stuff like that. So it's curious. I'm very curious about it. It's interesting. It's taught me a couple of things. I got some pitfalls. Yeah. Shoe head and all that, like in shoes and stuff like that. Yeah, I got to cut that out, man.
So you like to read a lot of like philosophy and stuff like that, it sounds like.
I like to read a lot of philosophy. books, development books. I do read fiction too. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's, you just get so depressed.
You got to break it up. Right?
Yeah,
That's right.
I need some vampires or something.
Yeah.
Space aliens. I need, save the princess. Oh no. Stuff like that, man. So I can't believe I just put that on out there. In the air. But yeah, I do. No, I love to read, man. I love that kind of stuff. But
I won't even tell y'all the last book I read.
Please do.
oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Hey,
Was it 50 Shades of Grey?
No, it happened one summer. It's pretty close. See, she knows. She knows what book I read.
Read the whole series.
Absolutely. Hey, there's a series now. I read that one. Hey, I'm just telling you, you can learn a lot. It's educational. Hey, it's educational. A lot of details in there.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
That went over some people's heads right there. What he just said.
Hey,
don't worry about it.
That's about to be on the bestseller list now. Everybody's going,
Yes, sir.
Googling that.
Hey, you're not lying.
Hey, men out there, trust me. You need to read it. Don't tell anybody you're reading it, but you need to read it.
There you go. All right, that's real life advice right there.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of, I told these guys earlier in the show. I watched that clip of you talking about belief versus believer 30 times at least. It was really powerful. And then when you take that and you go watch the game with that in mind, you think about how the belief was 20.5-point underdogs. The belief is you're playing against a team that was in the national championship this year, and so on and so forth, and it goes on. But y'all were the believers, and none of that mattered.
Yep.
That's right.
And so the fact that you told us that, and then we got to see it in action the next day was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a powerful statement. It's not even a statement. It's a powerful knowledge. To have that self-understanding that you really do control and create your own world. Anybody can do and be what they want to be. You just got to get out of your own way and quit letting people influence you. And stay to that. And the other part of that we hadn't talked about before is that luck and risk. Besides effort, what people don't understand, besides effort, luck and risk decide your future more than anything else. And basically what that means is that if you take the opportunity, the chance to do something, to step out on a limb, you take the risk, okay? Within that, there's timing. There's a certain situations you put in. And if you're prepared for it, that's where the luck comes in. Because now you meet people. You get to networking. You get to finding folks who have similar ideas or ideologies. You meet people going to All-American games and become friends with them. And then you get on this same path. You meet people saying, hey, we're going to take a chance and go to Jackson State. And you meet Uncle Neely.
That's right.
And then you get together. And then he has his own vision, and he can pour that into you. And then that connects. And then, you come to Colorado. We meet you guys, and we get together. And now we're spreading the message around. I don't know how many people now. I know I saw just a few minutes ago, I think the websites are like up 160,000 more followers or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So look at all the people we're touching because we risk, and now the luck is the followers that came in, and now the message is being put out to so many.
There you go.
That's
Love that,
that's
Coach.
a very true statement.
Luck and risk, man. You got to have it. Luck and risk. Don't discount that.
There's no doubt about that. And me being here is basically what he's just saying. I mean, I met Prime, and he called me up when we went to Jackson State, and he offered me a job, and I hung the phone up, and my dad happened to be standing there, and he's like, well, where y'all going? I said, well, you know what? I didn't ask. I said, I didn't care. I really didn't.
Man.
I didn't care. I didn't care what I was doing. I believe in Prime. And when you get around him and you get around people like that, you believe in that you can believe in you can accomplish anything. And we've proven that, and we'll continue to prove that because it's like, Coach said, we believe in ourselves, we believe in what our plan, we believe in our leader. And what does he say? His odor, he smells like winning, or his odor is winning.
Yeah.
Whatever he's. Hey, it's true because that's what his expectation in life is. Not just with football and everything he does. And you get around him, you start to feel that way too. Yeah. And football, any sport you play, anything you're trying to do. the mental part, believing in yourself and believing that you're going to win is a lot of 90% of the battle to me. Because I think if you go on the field with the expectation to win, you know, it's kind of like I tell the kids. I haven't told my story yet. But this is one of my stories I'll tell from time to time. You know, it's kind of like, you know, if you have a dog and you beat that dog with a stick, eventually when you pick the stick up, he's gonna run up under the thing because he knows what's coming. Well, that's like your opponent. If they get used to you beating them and they know you're gonna beat them, they don't gonna take much and they're gonna run back up under the porch. You know, now, I ain't advocating for beating a dog, but I'm just telling you, you know, that's
unless
you know,
that dog is Nebraska.
That's exactly right. That's right.
I don't know about that now. Colorado loves dogs. I haven't been here too long.
No doubt.
I haven't been in one building where a dog is not welcome.
No doubt.
So yeah, let's tread lightly.
Yeah.
A lot of dog walkers around here. Man.
Oh,
A lot
man.
of dog walking around here. You know, I've lived in some places you don't see as many dog walkers, but there's a lot of dog walkers around here.
They've been in nail shop.
I probably had 20 dogs in my life growing up here.
20
Just
dogs, really?
One passes away.
Yeah, I got 3
Reload.
right now. I love dogs.
20 dogs? That's a lot of dogs. What are you doing to these dogs, bro?
Your
What are you
dogs don't
doing
last
to
very
these
long,
dogs?
man. What's up?
Well, at one point I had 6.
At one time.
Yeah, at one time. At
okay.
another point I had 4. So you know it adds up.
I got you.
It adds up.
Wow. Did they all sleep in the bed with you?
No.
Are you sure?
I had one dog.
Are you positive?
I had one dog that was
seen the
allowed to
smells?
sleep in the bed.
Just one?
Yeah, her name was Callie. She would jump up on the bed and go to the very corner, as far away from me as she could, and was like, "Can I stay here?" I was like, "All right, you can stay."
And she what do other dogs do? Do they get jealous at all?
You know, have you ever had dogs?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
But one at a time. I've never had. Maybe one time 2. They were little bitty dogs. I don't. You know, I got a problem with little bitty dogs. I don't mind them, but they don't earn their keep. Like I need something that's gonna bark
right.
and make somebody
That's
understand what's
Pay
going
the
on.
rent.
Yeah, I don't want a lap dog sitting in my lap.
Yeah.
That's like my brother or sister coming over sleeping on my couch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
Sucking up all the air.
what I was gonna say is they, you teach them 1 or 2 times where they got to sleep, they figure it out.
Yeah.
So you close the door, they whine the first time, and then they learn. It's
learn.
like it's a little like nicer way of saying, you hit them with a stick, they'll run under the bed. That's right. You don't let them in the bed, then they'll figure it out.
And when they see the other 19 die before them.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think we need a camera in your house to figure out what really happened to
what's
these
happening to these
dogs.
dogs, man.
'Cause that's 20 dogs, bro. Wow, 20 dogs, man.
I gotta count it. That might have been an exaggeration. But it's
No,
close.
no, too late.
You
No,
already
close.
said it.
It's
I
out there.
don't have 0 right now, sadly, because we live in an apartment, and I want my parents' house has a bunch of land for them to run around. So I was like, I can't have a dog stuck in this apartment, knowing that the dogs in my parents' house are running wild like they're farm animals.
I bet all the dogs.
I think.
I bet all the dogs in Colorado is like Independence Day for them because they don't have a dog. They're popping firecrackers and stuff. Yeah, Ali, Boomba.
Coach, I just I want to say we already talked about what you talked last week, but it really resonated with me, and I think one of the most impressive things just about this whole experience so far since you guys got here is hearing from the people who watch this show, who interact with us, and how you guys have been able to impact their lives just with your presence and what you guys do. Like the reach that you guys have definitely gets to the everyday person, and you are making an impact much larger than just in this facility.
Well, thank you for saying that, man. But honestly, it's reverse for me on the other perspective because when I do see the comments sometimes or I get the text messages and things like that, it's so refreshing to hear people say, how much they appreciate this or, hey, we hadn't had winning football in Colorado and my dad was this and I used to go to the games and sit on his lap and you hear those kind of things and the nostalgia that comes back. And then as you were a part of that, it refreshes me, honestly. So I appreciate everyone else because, on the other side of this, and we talk about mental health and giving back, you get drained as a leader. And I'm just being honest and candid right now. And sometimes you get, in even in your own belief, you think like, man, am I doing enough? I'm tired. Is this enough? Should I do something different? Like, am I following the right path? Are things going right? And you get those influx of messages, and it's like, boom! It's a boost of energy, man. So I appreciate you for saying that. Of
course, Coach.
I appreciate the people out there for doing that and saying the good things they say about us and what we're doing here, and the impact we're having. Because you feed off of us, but we feed off of you. And the more we get that, the more it just boosts me. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going, Hart. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, Pollock. Let's keep doing this. Neely, everybody. Let's just keep doing this because we are making a difference, and there's some people out there that are going to benefit from it and go far beyond what we're ever going to do. Because maybe a message got out that you guys put out there. It's going to make this world better. So it's one person at a time. So thank you for that. Honestly.
Thank you, Coach. Really.
This is all really powerful, but it is hate week. This is a little too.
Oh
nice.
yeah.
Can I just say fuck Nebraska really quick? I just need to get that off my chest.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I'll be goddamn. Let me relax a little. I didn't know that. Really?
Hey, I'm over here worried about being a dog, and y'all over here cussing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Hey, go on.
Picking my vernacular right and stuff, trying to figure this out. All right, bet.
Yep, this show's all about authenticity.
Bet, ask me another question. I got a lot of shit to say. Let's go. Let me stop. Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask Coach Pollock a question. I mean, what's game day like for you? What are you doing, to help out the coaching staff, help out the team? Just give us some more insight on what you're able to do.
I'm up in the press box. I'm able to communicate with Coach Lewis through a couple of other guys. Because of my position, I can't wear a headset, but we communicate. I keep up with what's going on first and second down, mainly with last past week TCU's defense, what they were lining up in, what stunts, coverages, things they were doing, and then relaying that message down, trying to see if there's any trends, anything going on. And then trying to look at our game plan and see what we said we were going to do if they did this kind of stuff. So we got great communication with our offensive staff, and our whole staff does really. And but yeah, that's my role right here, and just serving as a person that Coach Lewis can lean on and help him do his thing that he did Saturday. We got a lot of great players that made a lot of great plays, obviously. But he's done a great job of leading our offense, and he did a great job of calling the game Saturday. And our players made plays, and so that's kind of where I fit in and what I do, and I love my role in terms of where I'm at right now, and I've learned a lot, even though I've been in this a long time. This is my 33rd year coaching, so I'm excited, and that's really where I sit on game day, and it's right up there in the press box, and I'm comfortable up there. I enjoy being up there, and I see my boy down there on the sideline a lot. He's doing his thing, but when it was 105 last week, I was like, I bet
that was him and me.
I'm up here chilling. I got me a little.
Hey, I was up there chilling with you in the press box.
Let me tell you something though. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, by October, how to get in that press box for home games. I'm trying to trick Kevin Mathis, my DB coach, to come down on the field and let me go up and call plays. Because when this wind and snow get here and stuff like that, I want to be in there eating Chick-fil-A and all that other good stuff they have going on in there. Y'all have coffee and everything, don't you? Don't y'all get tea, sweet tea and everything?
We get sweet tea. We get Diet Coke. Hey, the only thing about this now.
They out there snacking, man.
Hey,
you can hear it on the thing.
Listen.
Good play, Coke.
Hey.
Good play. I mean, they be turning some wings up, man.
I don't know if it was TCU or what the deal was, but now we got to up our snack game a little bit up there. It was a little low last week. Now, I'm used to getting I'm used to getting fed. I mean, honestly, last few years I've been getting fed in the press box. But anyway, I tell you what though, something I found out about Colorado, I did not know this. Do you realize that it has snowed in every month of the year in Colorado?
I know it did in June.
Yeah,
when we were here, I saw that.
That's a trivia question.
Really?
I was reading up on a little Colorado stuff, and
It is snowing in July and August.
But that's happening up in the mountains.
Hey, that's still snow, man.
Yeah.
That's still snow. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you what. I moved out here in January, and y'all got this thing that y'all the Sunshine State, and I ain't see sunshine for a while. All that snow we got in January, February, and I was like, man, this ain't what they told me this was about. I'm cold. But no, it's been good.
How about now, though?
Oh, it's great. It's wonderful.
It's beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather, you know. Hey, man, what do you expect when you live in a state that invented cheeseburger? I mean, come on, let's go.
Just so you know,
Colorado invented cheeseburger?
State of Colorado invented cheeseburger.
man.
Are you serious?
1935.
I love you, Colorado.
Hey, Humpty Dumpty drive-through.
Do you know how many cheeseburgers I put in my pocket trying to get to practice?
Hey, I just got random things in my head, man.
Man,
I
that
know
is great,
random
Colorado.
That's great.
Look at you.
You know? Yeah.
Contributing to America. The cheeseburger.
let me just tell you this. Last home game of the season, I took a screenshot of the weather, and I tweeted, and I said, I heard at Deion Sanders doesn't like the cold. Well, here's the weather, the last home game of the season, and it was like 60 degrees, sunny, perfect blue sky, so you don't have to worry too much. It's still beautiful here into November.
Well, I'm telling you, it wasn't bad the spring game when it was sold out. You know, it started snowing, but it was hot. Like, I had to take off layers. Like, it was a crazy feeling to see the snow coming down, but it was actually warm. Mm-hmm. And it was great for our recruits because they came and saw it and experienced it. It was like, you know, Coach, hey, this ain't bad at all. Mm-hmm. You know? And that's great, man. I love it.
That spring game was unbelievable. I mean, because you had the snow that day. You didn't know if you were going to play, the plan was for the game. And when you walked out there and saw that stadium packed, and then you just thought, wow, these folks showed up.
Yeah.
They showed up, and it was electric. I mean, for a spring, it was crazy, you know. So, yeah, I had to peel off some layers, too. I got warm, and you know, everybody – Just the vibe that day was just amazing, and I can only imagine that it's going to be that times 1,000 Saturday.
I know that's right.
I honestly think Saturday might end up being like a milestone for me in terms of the electricity in that building.
Yeah. No. I know I'm probably going to get in trouble for it, but I really do want to see them storm the field. I've never been a part of that.
Yeah.
I love that you said it.
Yeah. It's too late. It's out there. Yeah. But I do.
It's probably going to happen.
It's probably going to. I just do. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, I just would love to see it. I've never been a part of that before.
Yeah,
so we have a serious reputation for charging the field here.
So this is a
we'll
Colorado tradition.
Yeah, we'll see when you haven't won a lot. Then when you win, you're like, hey, we gotta relish this.
Oh my goodness!
My goodness! A lot of people have rules. It's got to be against a ranked opponent. It has to be an upset. This, that, the other thing. They don't really care about the rules. So you might see some new friends on the field when you get that dub.
Oh, I know.
I'll tell you another thing they don't care about around here. You know
about that.
My boy over here talking about the power of money. I just got curious last night. I said, because I heard all the stories about all the ticket prices and everything. There are 4 seats, and I'm not sure if it's section 106 or 108. It's row 11. They're going for $11,000 a piece. I just clicked on it because I wanted to see where the seats were. That's crazy. And listen, all of a sudden it come up $44,000. Submit. I was like, no, let's go back. I was about to put $44,000 on my credit card. I was like, oh no, yeah, $11,101. So if you're sitting on row 11 in one of those sessions. Yeah.
All right.
If you are, I want to go have dinner with you. You must be a booster or something.
They probably eat at that place up on the mountain.
Yeah, the one on the mountain.
Flagstaff House.
Yeah, they probably eat there. Yeah. We've eaten there a couple times.
I've had water. I've had water.
I had a side salad.
That's what I had.
Hey, Unc, I have to run for a meeting if you want to jump in, or we can wrap.
Oh, no, just go ahead.
Okay. All right,
guys. Coach, man, thank you again. Coach Pollock, nice to meet you, sir. Great to have you on. We are very excited for what we're about to witness on Saturday.
Absolutely. Me too. I'm ready to be a part of this experience. It's going to be great.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
We coming.
Soak it up. We here.
We here.
That's right,
there
baby. We here.
Let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
I'm ready for this.